Danielle over at DIYDanielle.com, and today I am setting up my food forest, and we're just getting started. It's our first time doing this style, and I like the idea behind it. It's supposed to be less maintenance and more like a natural ecosystem. Generally, you do not go with having the area tilled. The reason I had it tilled is because the grass is really thick, and I didn't have enough cardboard to cover it all. But I do want to plant in the ground, and the reason is this bed is 50 feet by 60 feet, a little over actually. And when I went to order 10 cubic yards of soil, this is how much I got. And that's actually more than it probably looks like, but it's still not enough to cover this whole area. So what I'm going to be doing is filling in the holes that I'm digging, as you can see, with the compost. That is just pure compost. And I'm also using, we deep lettered method our goats over the winter, so I have goat bedding that I cleared out the other day, cleaned out their whole house. I'm going to be using that in the holes as well as fertilizer. It is okay to use without composting down, unlike something like horse manure or chicken manure, which needs to be composted before you use it in your garden. This stuff can go straight on and is apparently awesome for your garden. I started out by laying out cardboard, and I had quite a bit of it. I have some paper feed bags. So ideally, what you would do is you would cover your whole area with cardboard or newspaper or whatever you want to use, and then you would put all your soil, your compost, down on top, and then you would cover with wood chips. And you'd move the wood chips to the side and plant your plants inside the compost that is under the wood chips. And again, you don't want the wood chips too close, but the wood chips act as a mulch. And unlike the store-bought mulch, it's free usually, or it's pretty cheap to get. And it's still green. So it breaks down quickly, which is good for your soil. But initially, it's sucking up nitrogen, I believe, so which will hurt your plants if it's close up. However, it's really good to choke out the weeds. So the weeds probably aren't going to want to grow on it, which is awesome. I'm digging my holes for how I laid it out. I drew it up on a piece of graph paper. What? I have right here it's a really terrible drawing. I actually got confused which corner I was doing a few times. But here we go. I have it all laid out so I can bring it out with me and look at it. And yeah, so I dug all my holes. Now I had started laying down this cardboard. So I started marking out where I want my fence gate to be, or my garden gate to be. I've got an 8-foot width here. And on either side, I am planting 2 grape plants. There's going to be a fence that it can grow up, and I want to have a big arch with my gate so that it can go over my head when I'm walking through it. I'm really excited. I hope it's as pretty as I'm thinking it will be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant my plants in here. These are 6 to 8 feet apart, I think. And I'm going to put compost in there to fill it in. And then I'm going to layer cardboard around it. Those are my 4 grapes. These are 6 raspberries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My plants themselves are actually inside soaking right now. This will be for, wow, I think I need to dig it out some more. That'll be a pear tree. It's a dwarf or semi-dwarf. No, it's a dwarf pear. I've got a second dwarf pear right here. I've got 2 apple trees that are already established. Elderberry. And we'll have a fence line here. I am planting, oh my gosh, no, sorry. That's an elderberry and that's an elderberry. This is, bush cherry. Instead of planting a cherry tree, I decided to plant something called a bush cherry. A lot of people seem to like them, and I want to see how it goes. So again, this is my other elderberry. And then everything else will get planted in between. So I will dig small holes to put the 100 strawberry plants that I have to plant, and I will fill those in with compost. And I'm also going to be planting seedlings and seeds for vegetables, and mostly vegetables. Tomatoes, cucumbers, pumpkins. I think this corner over here is going to be cornfield. That's a stretch, but a corn square, corn rectangle. It's about, I want to say I wanted it to be about 10 by 10 or 12 by 12, and to keep bush beans on the outside and squash or pumpkins growing in between it. So that is what that is. I will show you once I've planted things, how it looks. Okay, so this isn't pretty because they are bare root plants, but they are all labeled, and the roots of all of these are soaking for 4 to 6 hours. These are strawberries. I'm gonna have to pull them all apart and plant each one individually, but they are soaking for 1 to 2 hours. Here's where we are. I planted some strawberries in a circle around here, planted them in a trench there. It's very all over the place. Around where the pear tree will go, around where there's a cherry bush. I've got my elderberry in, which you can't really see very well, and there's an elderberry in there. And then I got my 4 grapes in and 3 of the raspberries. My next package with pear trees and cherries should be coming Tuesday. Okay, so these are some photos from the beginning of my food forest. I'm going to show you because I don't think I have video still from some of the later stages, from when we put in fencing and just showing the different photos of the plants coming up. So this will give you a little bit of a look at it, and you can see what's going on. And I hope you'll check out some of my later videos. You can see how far this has come from when we first started. It's been at least 6 years, I think. So we've had 6 seasons, and it's really come out really lovely. Yeah, so I hope this was helpful. Make sure to check out my blog post on this on DIYDanielle.com and check out some of my later videos. I do tours here and there of it, so you can see how much progress there's been. Yeah, thanks so much. Take care, and make sure to subscribe.